Did you ever hear about the Dalai Lama being an avatar, the Last Airbender? Probably not, huh? You see, finding that out would require you to really get into the show, and there's a bunch of other hidden stuff about the series that you're still unaware of. That's why we put together this whole video just for you. So brace yourselves to explore 25 facts about Avatar, the Last Airbender you didn't know. Number 25. Avatar's world is a lot like Asia, with Inuit tribes in the Water Tribe. The show has got this old magical vibe. But did you know that they almost made it a futuristic thing like 1,000 years into the future, with modern cities and all? Which would have messed up the cool tribes and characters we all love. Good thing they changed their minds. Number 24. The coolest part of Avatar, The Last Airbender second season end, was the Lake Laogai episode. Aang and his friends met Jet, who got brainwashed in an Earth Kingdom underground lab. What's even more interesting is that Lake Laogai has a real-world connection. In Chinese, Laogai stands for Reform Through Labor. In the 50s and 60s, there was a Chinese prison camp with the same name where they sent political prisoners and brainwashed them, like in the show. Number 23. Now here's a secret about one of Avatar's creators, Michael Dante DiMartino. He used to work on Family Guy, an animated show about the Griffin family. Family Guy is known for adult humor and cutaway gags. It's surprising that someone from Avatar worked on Family Guy, since they target very different audiences. And the raunchy jokes from Family Guy didn't make it into the kid-friendly Avatar show. Number 22. Now let's talk about Momo, the super cute lemur bat. Some people once thought Momo might be the reincarnation of Monk Gyatso, who was Aang's mentor. Monk Gyatso helped Aang when he became the Avatar and made the shift from being a regular air nomad to a world-saving hero. Momo stuck by Aang's side, and some people thought Momo could be Gyatso's spirit. That idea was interesting but kind of risky, so they decided not to go with it. Number 21. Tenzin Gyatso, another name you'll hear in the show, is named after the 14th Dalai Lama, who shared that name. The real Dalai Lama was a big deal in Tibet, born into a farming family and said to be the reincarnation of the 13th Dalai Lama. He became His Holiness at 23 and dealt with some big political stuff in 1950. In 2011, he ended a long tradition of being both the political and spiritual leader of Tibet and retired. That Tenzin name carries into the legend of Korra, where Aang's son, also named Tenzin, trains the new Avatar. Number 20. If you're into Avatar, you gotta know about the Cabbage Man. This guy is just a poor dude selling cabbages. He popped up in Season 1 when some crazy earthbender smashed his cabbage wagon. At first, he was a one-time joke, but fans adored him, so the writers kept bringing him back. Aang and the gang kept trashing his cart, and he'd scream, "My cabbages!" Then in The Legend of Korra, we find out he starts this mega successful company, Cabbage Corp, so he kind of gets a happy ending. Speaking of happy endings, we want to mention something that can make someone smile, and that someone is us. Yes, you got it right, it's us. All you have to do is click that red subscribe button and ring that bell icon, and our happiness will go through the roof. Done? Awesome! Now, let's keep rolling with the video. Number 19. In Avatar, The Last Airbender, Aang is the current Avatar from the Air Nomads. The show lets us see some older Avatars, but we know the total number from the Southern Air Temple. In that temple, there's a room with about 130 statues of past Avatars. They're set up in 7 rows going up, plus 55 statues on the floor, so we've got a total of 181 previous Avatars. This number was also confirmed in the movie, making it official. Number 18. At the end of the second season, there seemed to be a connection between Prince Zuko and Katara. This wasn't an accident. The people running the show actually wanted them to be a couple. But in the final season, Aang told Katara he liked her, and they ended up together. It was a safer choice because Aang was the main character and they wanted him to have a happy ending. Number 17. Azula almost had an arranged marriage in the final season of the show, but the writers decided it didn't fit her story. She almost got engaged to General Zhao's son, and their wedding was planned for book 3, but they changed their minds and had Azula face off against Prince Zuko in the big Agni Kai battle, which became a big moment in the series. Number 16. It's kind of surprising, but Zuko, one of the main characters, was one of the last characters added to the show. Originally, the big bad guy was supposed to be the evil Fire Lord Ozai, But they realized he couldn't really chase after Aang, so they needed someone else. That's when Zuko came into the picture. He's a super complex character, one of the deepest ever in any show. Imagine if he never existed. Number 15. The voice actor who played Uncle Iroh, Mako Iwamatsu, passed away while they were recording the second season. They had to find a new actor, Greg Baldwin, to voice Uncle Iroh in the third season. They even named a character in the sequel, The Legend of Korra, after Mako as a tribute. Number 14. Uncle Iroh, who's like a mentor to Prince Zuko, is one of the most iconic characters. He gives Zuko a lot of advice on being a good person throughout the show. What's cool is that they weren't originally planning for Iroh to be Zuko's uncle. He was just supposed to be an older firebender guiding Zuko, but making them family added a special layer to their friendship and made Uncle Iroh even more awesome. Number 13. In the show, Toph became an earthbending master and even created metal bending. She didn't let her blindness stop her. Originally, Toph was gonna be a boy with perfect eyesight. There was this funny episode called Ember Island Prayers. That kind of made fun of that idea, making Toph look like Dwayne Johnson. Number 12. Before the last lion turtle went away, it gave Aang the power of energy bending. This helped Aang beat Fire Lord Ozai without hurting him. Even though it was a tough choice, energy bending lets Aang mess with someone's life energy, and that's pretty scary. Number 11. In Avatar: The Last Airbender, not many characters had their age told in the show. Aang was 112 years old, Zuko and Yue were 16, Toph was 12, Tom Tom was 2, and Mai was 17. There were also a few characters over 100 years old, like Bumi, Guru Pathik, Fire Lord Sozin, Avatar Kyoshi, and Avatar Kuruk. Number 10. The show was so cool that they wanted to turn it into a live-action movie, but the 2010 movie kind of messed things up. Fans didn't like how it skipped important parts and made characters too simple. The show even joked about it in the Boy in the Iceberg episode. Number 9. Fire Lord Ozai was a super powerful bender and a really bad guy. He hurt his son and destroyed stuff just to show off. Mark Hamill, who was Luke Skywalker and the Joker, gave him a scary voice. Undoubtedly, Mark did an outstanding job. Number 8. In the opening credits of the show, you see people doing bending moves. Those dark figures were actually characters who showed up later in the show, like Master Paku, Sud, Prince Azula, Aang, and Avatar Roku. Number 7. Avatar: The Last Airbender started with a sketch of a bald kid in Bison. Brian Konietzko and Michael DiMartino made up the story about an air guy, water people, and fire people. That idea was different from what the final product became. Number 6. Zuko's mom, Ursa, was a big mystery in the show, but comics like The Promise, The Search, and Smoke and Shadow answered it. She did some tricky stuff to help Zuko's dad become the Fire Lord. After being sent away, she got a new life and a happy ending with Zuko. Number 5. Besides the Dalai Lama, some characters were inspired by other famous people like The Rock. Admiral Zhao was based on a bad guy from the movie The Patriot, and they got the same actor, Jason Isaacs, to do the voice. Number 4. In the show, there are a lot of animals that are mixes of two different animals. It's kind of weird if you think about it too much, but it made the show's world more interesting. There were animals like badger moles, eelhounds, iguana parrots, and lots more. Number 3. Did you know a hidden truth about Avatar: The Last Airbender? Making one episode of the show was a long process, around 9 months. Imagine, that's nearly as long as a baby takes to be born. If they did one episode at a time, it'd take 45 years for all 61 episodes, but they worked on many episodes at a time. Number 2. Here's another curious fact. None of the characters in the whole series have last names except Toph. She's special with her last name, Beifong. Maybe it's because her family is rich and famous in the Avatar world. But why don't others have last names? Even the Royal Fire Nation family doesn't. Strange, right? Number 1. Well, even if you're a super fan, you might not know this secret. The music at the start of each episode is totally different. So the tune you hear at the beginning of an episode usually matches what's gonna happen in that one. Like in the episode called The Painted Lady, the music is all about the Painted Lady, and in the Firebending Masters episode, they slow down the Sun Warriors chant for the tune. The music in the first and last episodes is like different versions of the Avatar theme song. Bet you didn't catch that secret, did you? And that's all for now. Thanks for tuning in to discover these 25 awesome facts about Avatar: The Last Airbender. If you found these facts as fascinating as we did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more epic content. What do you want to learn about next? Leave your suggestions in the comments below, and remember to check out our channel for more exciting videos. We can't wait to see you in the next one.